Hey, what's up, guys? So, I just wanted to answer some questions that I do have in the comments. They're pretty good questions, so I did want to make just a separate video on just answering these questions. The first question is, so me being from Cali, if I graduated and dipped to, say, Oregon or Washington, would I get a job easier than here in Cali? And do you have to go union? So, say if you did graduate from Cali, that's awesome. You dip to Oregon or Washington or any of the other 50 states, it does not matter. It really falls on you. So you could get a job in Cali and get paid really well. That's up to you if you want to wait that long. I mean, you could get lucky depending on your experience too. I mean, there's so many variables there, it's just unknown. So if you're gonna just move to Oregon or just move to Washington, did you already apply for jobs? Are you getting calls back? Do you have a job lined up already? I mean, what's the goal? How many, like, financially can you be out there for that long being unemployed? But I think your question is more referring to as, is there work there? Yeah, sure. I'm sure there is work there. And there's plenty of work within the other 50 states. You don't have to go there. But it just really depends. Like, how much time are you really putting into finding a job? Are you really putting 2 to 4 hours a day? Or are you just doing one application a week? It really depends. Now, you can find a job within Cali. Like for myself, my situation, what works for me. I wanted to join the union because you start at 36 an hour. Cool. There's a lot of overtime. Awesome. But it doesn't mean that you're going to get a call tomorrow and start working next week. It doesn't work like that. There's pretty much like a wait list type of thing. It's first come, first serve. You sign these books, which is the union, and you just pretty much wait until they need someone to fill a job. That's it. And that could be a week, that can be 6 months, that can be 2 years. You don't know. Now, the other thing too with finding a job, are you willing to go within the other 50 states? Because if you are, and it depends on you. Like I said, there's so many variables that are just unknown, and it depends on your situation. For myself, I have a family. I have a wife, and I have a baby boy. So with my situation, I asked, we talked about it, and she's willing to go within the 50 states. Okay, cool. So I apply within the 50 states. But like I said, it depends on how much time you're putting in to finding a job. You're going to get more callbacks if you're putting, let's just say, 6 to 8 hours in one day. You'll have more callbacks than just one application a week or one application a day. It just depends. And it also depends what type of company you're going to be applying for. Is this a real huge organization? Or is this a small little company that only has 20 employees? It really just depends. Now, do you have to go to union? Well, I'm not too sure if I really explained a lot on that last question, but it just really depends on you. Are you willing to just go anywhere? And you can even go outside of the U.S. if you wanted to. There are some companies that do that too. It's just that depending on you and your situation and how far you really want to go, you can find a job within a week. You can find a job within 6 months. It just really depends on you. Now, the second question, and do you have to go union? No, you don't. You don't have to go union. That's really up to you. I have a job lined up in Colorado on August 23rd, and it's not union. It doesn't have to be union. If it's union, most of the time they have higher wages. And right now, I mean, it's really up to you. Each union is different, depending on the state where you go. I believe California, New York, Texas, and I think Florida. Not too sure about Florida, but those are the most high-paying wages right now, from what I've was reading. But the last time I was reading, I was maybe 2 months ago. I don't know. Things change. And so, do you have to go to union? No, you don't have to. It's really up to you. And when you're talking about union, I'm pretty sure you're talking about signing the books, and that's really up to you. You don't have to. But just because it might be a waiting game where you could wait a week, maybe 2 years, you never know. Nobody knows. And it's nice to just sign them just in case if things were to change. Let's just say this: I don't get into SoCal Edison, but at least my name is still in the books, and I could get calls maybe next week or 6 months from now. I still have something there just in the meantime. That's just, plan B. But well, really plan C, because plan B is I'm still applying for other jobs. And plan B is also waiting for Colorado. Plan A was pretty much get into SoCal Edison. That's plan A. So you don't have to do union. It's really depending on you. And each state has their own union. And pretty sure there's not just one union depending on the state. There could be more than one union for line work. So that really depends on you. Another comment. Fuck. Does anyone get a job after NLC? Yes. It's definitely heard that, I had that for my situation. I had the opportunity to start work. So I graduated on April 2nd. I had the opportunity to start work on like April 15th, somewhere around there. I chose not to. I was thinking, you know what, there's going to be a better opportunity, and there has been, and I'm still denying it. The first opportunity that I had was 2 days before I graduated, and it was to start in San Jose, 27 an hour, and I said no, I didn't want to. And another opportunity came up. It was to work for the wind turbines, and that was $19 an hour. I denied it. I didn't want it. Another opportunity all the way in Florida, it was to work for a substation, and they were going to pay me at $20 an hour. And if I had my CDL, I'll start at around 25 an hour. I denied it. I didn't want it. And I believe there was another opportunity, but I just can't remember what it was. But the last one was the lineman apprenticeship in Colorado. And they're only going to start me at $20 an hour, and that's with the CDL. So, depends on you. And it depends on how hard you're really looking for that job. For instance, my situation, I was putting 6 to 8 hours a day. I was putting, maybe 2 to 4 applications a day. And it really depends on you, because everybody knows looking for a job takes a long time. It really does. It's very tedious, especially for me. I like to research on the company. And I like to get as much information as I can. Even, is there a way... There's just so much researching into a company, and it's just nonstop. And then you start getting... Well, for me, I get into a rabbit hole, and I'm there for 2 to 3 hours, and I'm just like, holy crap, I still haven't submitted this application yet. But it just really depends. Are you putting a cover letter? How much effort are you putting in this cover letter? Now, when your resume, like, how much effort are you putting in this resume? And then for myself, I added a link to my my resume, and it's that link goes directly to my climbing video, and you can see it on my page. You'll see that climbing video. It goes through all the NLC standards. I'm talking about it, and I'm proving that, hey, you know what? I know how to climb. I know how to be smooth. And yes, I do need work. And if you're willing to help me, yeah, go ahead and help me out, because they know I'm just graduated. I don't know anything. So, it just really depends. How much time are you putting in to finding that job? Finding a job is a full-time job. I'm telling you that right now. And kind of depends on you. And let's see here. It says, be honest with me. If I get a CDL and graduate line school and apply all over up the North Pacific, with the odds being in my side to find a career or work, or is it going to be hard to get a job? Kind of still going through the same thing. Depends on you. Now, let's say if you do get a CDL, you graduate line school, you apply all over, yes, that's good, and the odds are in your favor. If everything is like that, peachy perfect and everything, yeah, you're gonna find work pretty dang soon. For my situation, now I didn't have my CDL when I graduated. When I graduated, I had a 3.95 GPA though. Do they look at that? I honestly don't know. But if they ask you questions during the interview, are you going to be able to answer it clearly? Are you going to be able to answer it like with very thorough thought? And then, like they're going to know, are you bullshitting or not? They're going to know. And that's another thing too. As far as going to college, going to NLC, really put the time to actually study. It's really going to show after you graduate and you go through these interviews, because I had about 2 interviews on the phone. They asked me questions about the trade, and they really wanted to know what I knew coming out of college. So be prepared. And on top of that, when you're going through the interview, put a little bit more 2 cents. Yes, I did learn about the transformers. I did know about the Y and the delta. And I know the difference of potential and the things and the different hazards and the safety that comes with it. Really go through it and make sure that, think about your answers, and really make sure that, that you're not bullshitting. You're just, pulling shit out of your ass, because they're going to really know when you're bullshitting them. They've been in the trade for who knows how many years. So they're going to know when you're trying to improvise, or, when you're bullshitting them. So really take the time to study at school. So if you do have your CDL and you graduate line school, let's just say with good grades, and apply all over the North Pacific, work, finding career shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be hard. Like I said, depends on how much time you're actually looking to find that job. Your odds are not going to be good if you're only putting 1 application a day, or maybe 1 application a week. The less you do, the less calls you're going to have. So the amount of time and effort that I have been putting in as putting applications, finding a job, I stopped about 2 months ago, kind of just toned it down, just trying to spend time with more family. And I had other things to do. As far as just my life, I had things to do. Now, before all of that, while I was finding work religiously every single day, countless hours a day, I got a lot of denials, and that is okay. Keep sending those applications. Keep sending everything that you can. Get some contact info. There's a lot of people that are willing to help you. And as far as like HR, because that's what I did, I went through a lot of HRs. I contacted them. Hey, what are you guys looking for? I just graduated. I have a 4.0. And what are you guys looking for? Are you guys looking for a specific experience? What are you looking for? What is this specific company looking for? Depends on you. How much time are you putting into finding a job? That really depends on you. And you can start your career right after NLC. You can start right after. That depends on you. How much effort are you putting into this? And like myself, my situation, I graduated in April. Right now it is July. And I still don't have a job. And that's okay because I chose that. I had plenty of opportunities to take, and I said, no, I don't want that right now. And that's okay. Depends on you. You can start your career right off the bat. And on top of that, I believe there was one girl that was going to NLC. She stopped going. She didn't even finish college. She didn't. Halfway through the mark, she quit and started telecom. Boom. You don't even have to finish college. And there is still a lot of opportunities. It depends on you. It depends on how much time you're putting into finding a job. It just depends on you. It really does. So I hope this helps you and other people. If you guys have any more questions, or at least if there was something that wasn't just unclear, put it in the comments. I'll try to make another video if it really, if it's worth it. But these were good questions. A lot of people just do not know how much time and effort it really, there is to it. So most definitely, yeah, I mean, this is all I have. So catch you guys later. Later, guys.